story of the little monk selling stones. One day the little monk ran to ask the old monk, "Master, what is the greatest value in human life?" The old monk said, "Go to the garden, pick up a large stone and bring it to the market to sell. If someone asks the price, don't answer. Just raise 2 fingers. If they bargain with you, don't sell. Come back here and the master will tell you what the greatest value of human life is." Following the master's words, the next morning the little monk carried a large stone to the market to sell. In the market people came and went, all very curious. A lady came over and asked, "How much is this stone?" The little monk didn't say anything, just raised 2 fingers. The lady said, $2. The little monk shook his head. The lady asked again, "Is it $20? Okay, I'll buy it to make pickled vegetables." The little monk thought, "Oh, this stone is not worth $1, but someone is willing to pay $20 to buy it. We have many more on the mountain." Then the little monk still didn't sell. Happily he ran back to boast to the master, "Master, today a lady agreed to pay $20 to buy the stone. Master, now can you tell me what is the greatest value in human life?" The old monk replied, "Don't be in a hurry. Tomorrow you take the stone to the museum. If someone asks you the price, still raise 2 fingers. If they bargain, don't sell. Come back here and we'll talk further." The next morning in the museum, a group of people curiously gathered around, whispering, "It's just an ordinary stone. I don't know what value it has that it's placed in the museum. If it's placed in the museum, it must have its own value. We just don't know it yet." At that moment, someone stepped out of the crowd, loudly asked the little monk, "Little monk, how much is this stone?" The little monk didn't say anything, raised 2 fingers. The person said, $200? The little monk shook his head. The person said again, "Okay, $2,000. I'll buy it to carve a Buddhist statue." The little monk was shocked, still didn't sell, and carried the stone back to the mountain to meet the master. "Master, today someone offered $2,000 to buy the stone. Now you must tell me what is the greatest value in human life." The old monk laughed loudly and replied, "Tomorrow take the stone to the antique shop. Still do the same. If someone offers a price, don't sell. Come back here. This time the master will definitely tell you what the greatest value in human life is." On the 3rd morning, the little monk carried the stone to the antique shop, still attracting a group of curious people. Some people discussed, "What kind of stone is this? Excavated from what region? From which dynasty? What is it used for?" Finally, someone asked the price. "Little monk, how much is this stone?" The little monk didn't say anything, just raised 2 fingers. $200,000? The little monk was shocked, mouth agape. "Huh?" The other person thought he had offered too low a price, making the little monk angry. Immediately corrected, No, I mean 200,000. 200,000. The little monk heard that and immediately hugged the stone, ran quickly back to the old monk, panting and saying, Master, this time we're going to be rich. Today someone offered 200,000 for the stone. Now can you tell me what is the greatest value in human life?" The old monk stroked the little monk's head benevolently and said, "Child, the greatest value in human life is like a stone. If you sell yourself in the market, you're worth only $20. If you put yourself in the museum, you're worth $2,000. But if you put yourself in the antique shop, your value will be $200,000. Different foundations, different stations. The value of human life will be completely different." A beautiful teacup. In the craft store, people saw a truly beautiful teacup. They said to each other, "We've never seen a cup as exquisite as this one." The cup suddenly spoke. "You don't know my life wasn't always as a teacup. There was a time when I was just a lump of red clay. My master picked me up, rolled me around and shaped me. I screamed, 'Leave me alone.' But he just smiled and said, 'Not yet.' Then I was placed on a spinning wheel and I was spun around in circles. 'Stop, I'm dizzy,' I shouted. But my master just shook his head and said, 'Not yet.' Next my master put me in the kiln I'd never felt such heat. I wondered why he wanted to burn me. I screamed and pounded on the door. I could only see him through a small opening, and I saw his lips nodding. Not yet. Finally the door opened, and my master placed me on a shelf. I started to feel cooler. "Ah, that's better now," I said, but my master painted all over me. The smell of paint was terrible. I thought I was suffocating. "Stop, stop," I cried, but my master just shook his head. "Not yet." Then he put me in the kiln again. Not like the first time. This time it was twice as hot, and I knew I would suffocate. I begged and pleaded, I screamed and cried. Throughout it all, I only saw him through the opening, shaking his head. "Not yet." When I realised it was hopeless, I stopped begging. I almost gave up. But the door opened, and he took me out and placed me on a shelf. An hour later, he placed me in front of a mirror and said, "Look at yourself, I'm done." I exclaimed, "That's not me. It can't be me. I'm so beautiful. I'm beautiful." My master said, "I wanted you to remember that I knew it would hurt when I shaped you, but if I didn't, you would dry out. I knew you'd get dizzy on the spinning wheel, but if I stopped, you'd break apart. I knew it was hot in the kiln, but if I didn't put you there, you'd shatter. I knew the paint smelled bad, but if I didn't paint you, you'd have no colour in your life. If I didn't put you in the kiln the second time, you wouldn't last long because you wouldn't be strong enough. Now you're a perfect product. You've understood my intention, haven't you?" The lesson to ponder: pain and suffering are inevitable in life, so why not view them as a wonderful seasoning that makes each day more interesting? The story of the elephant and the lesson of perseverance. Once upon a time in a forest there lived a large elephant that coexisted harmoniously with the other species. One day the elephant decided to learn how to play the guggen to create beautiful sounds. However, the elephant faced difficulties in learning due to its large and clumsy feet. But the elephant didn't give up. It persevered and practiced every day. After a long period, the elephant became skilled at playing the guggen. Other animals in the forest praised the elephant for its perseverance and talent. The elephant said, "I have learned that perseverance and effort are the keys to achieving success. Nothing is impossible if we persist and strive." This story teaches us about the importance of perseverance and effort in life.